Did you ever wonder why Red Bull, an energy drink company, would send someone to space, and if it was even profitable to do so? To answer this question, we have to go back to 2005. This is Dietrich, and he is the founder of Red Bull. By 2005, Red Bull is already huge. They invented the energy drink category, and they're selling billions of cans. But Dietrich has a philosophy. He doesn't want to grow the company from traditional means. He doesn't want to do commercials, he doesn't want to do ads, but Red Bull wants to sponsor crazy stuff, like Formula One racing, extreme sports, cliff diving. They're not selling an energy drink, they're selling a lifestyle. So in 2005, Red Bull meets this guy called Felix. And Felix is an Austrian skydiver. But he's not a normal skydiver. He does insane jumps, like off of buildings and cliffs and base jumping. And Felix has always had a dream. He wants to jump from the edge of space. And Red Bull's like, well, Felix, how much would this cost? And he tells them $50 million. And you need a custom spacesuit, a capsule, a massive helium balloon, scientists, engineers, and years of testing. And Red Bull actually says, let's do it. They're going to fund it, and they call it Red Bull Stratos. Now, most companies would think this is absolutely insane. You're going to spend $50 million on a stunt that could or could not work, but Dietrich sees it differently. Traditional advertising costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and nobody's paying attention. But if you send a guy to space, the whole world is watching. So from 2005 to 2012, Red Bull is building this project. They are testing the suit, they're building the capsule, and they're training Felix. It's taking years and a lot of money. But what happens on October 2012 changes history. Felix gets in the capsule, the balloon lifts him up higher and higher, and he eventually gets to 128,000 feet above ground. That's 24 miles. Truly the edge of space. And then Felix jumps. He's free falling and he's breaking the sound barrier. The first human to do it without a vehicle. He's going over 800 miles an hour. And the whole world's watching live on YouTube. 8 million people are streaming. By the end of the day, it has 50 million views. Within weeks, it has hundreds of millions of views. And the Red Bull logo, well, that's everywhere. It's on the capsule, it's on the suit, it's on the balloon. Every news outlet that's covering this stunt shows Red Bull. And it's not an ad, it's a historic moment. Red Bull spent $50 million on the space jump because it wasn't about selling energy drinks. It was about owning a cultural moment. And they knew traditional advertising would cost more and get ignored. But sending a guy to space, that's priceless. More than a decade later, is doing something crazy the only way to get attention anymore?